Hey, so this is my live chat, my live stream about Gettysburg, Maine, or whatever ghost stories. I had a crazy day today. Um, Little ghost tale, paranormal activity at Gettysburg. But I had a good time, good day at Gettysburg. It was interesting. It, yeah, Sachs Bridge is amazing. Oh yeah, yeah, Sachs Bridge. I always love Sachs Bridge. There's a lot of ghost tales that go with Sachs Bridge. Um, there's a lot of history there. All of Sachs Bridge is about 90% original. It There's a flood in the 80s or 90s. I don't know when, but most of it's original. Um, I think it's just the foundations that aren't. But yeah, Sachs Bridge, Satchels. I keep calling it Sachs. Satchels covered bridge is amazing. It's just a beautiful like bridge. American Outdoors. What have you been up to? Have you done any digging? But yeah, Gettysburg, something amazing. I love Gettysburg, even though I had that weird experience. Um, yeah, now lady, ground the is the ground frozen? Where you're from? Where are you from? But the no, I'm so happy and excited about the Ace 150. Like it's a great little machine. Kansas, yeah. So the ground's probably frozen. We're supposed to get some weird weather this weekend, or not this weekend. Tomorrow, we're supposed to get in Pennsylvania. We're supposed to get like a foot of snow, which is unusual for Pennsylvania. It and some rain. So I don't know if the ground will freeze, but it's been really cold lately, the past 2 days. That's why I didn't go digging today. But yeah, it's weird weathers are coming. It is February, so I'm not surprised. I mean, Pennsylvania's been on and off lately for weather. We'll get it, and then it'll like melt away, then it'll come back. So, and the ground's on and off frozen also. So, as you see in my video, sometimes I can't make a video about digging. I have to go talk about Maine or something else. But yeah, um, Gettysburg, like if you ever go to Pennsylvania, you got to go to Gettysburg. Like I wanted to see it before I leave again, but we'll see how that goes. Or cover more sites, and hopefully my battery doesn't drain. Oh, happy birthday! How old are you gonna be? Hey, Mike Holland. 11. I remember when I was 11. It was good times. Lots of outdoor adventures, just learning about stuff, learning about the outdoors, hunting and fishing. Maine. I was in Maine at that time. Good times. Yeah, I think the only digging I'm doing tomorrow is shoveling. So we'll see how that goes. So, Mike Holland, there's a lot of rain. Like, you getting a lot of rainfall where you're from? See, I don't mind the rain. I don't mind the rain. Well, at least for metal detecting, because I can always metal detect in the rain. And even the snow, it's just when it freezes and things get you can't metal detect in that weather. Still gonna do it though. I'll still go out. Tomorrow. I'll probably go out and check. But I'm so like the Kennedy Estate never ceases to fail me. Like it always surprises me. There's always something. There's always something there. There's always something on that estate. Like, I don't know what that little structure could have been, or even if it's a structure at all, but I'm pretty sure that, they got square nails. There's a whole bunch of square nails. Like, it was at least 10 square nails in that area. And it was just, there's got to be something out there. Maybe like a little mill or, hey, we dig metal detecting. Or some. We're talking about the Kennedy estates, and I was talking about Gettysburg earlier, but yeah, I'm waiting to pull out some coins or some gold or something from that area. Like I love digging relics, but I want a coin. I want something something to take home. I guess I don't know. We'll see. We dig metal detecting. Where are you from? We were talking about weather tomorrow and the weather in our different areas. Like Pennsylvania, it's going to snow and it's going to rain. It's going to snow like a foot, I guess. Missouri. So you're probably going to get this snow too, maybe, or this storm. But yeah, people in Pennsylvania can't deal with the snow. They can't, or at least in Chambersburg, cannot deal with that snow at all. It Oh man, it's gonna be something else. People can't drive. Chambersburg people cannot drive in the snow, any snow. I saw a 4-wheel drive truck get stuck in a foot of, or not, like an inch and a half of snow. I was just like, come on now, it's 4-wheel drive. Yeah, so I can't wait to go back to the Kennedy States. I gotta find something. I gotta find something extremely cool before, because I go back home. I go back to Maine in June for good. So I can't wait. And I have all this, I have 2 weeks off. I'm on vacation right now. So and we'll see how it goes. Like it's either, and it would just be my luck to get snowed out on my vacation. Like Pennsylvania gets the worst snowstorm on the 2 weeks that I take off. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. I'm not excited for the snowstorm, but I'm excited for it to get over and it to melt away, or at least get warm enough so that the ground's not frozen, which is cool. I can dig in snow. I've dug in snow. I don't. It doesn't matter to me. You have some relatives. My stepmother's family's from Missouri. I have no idea what part of Missouri at all. So it's not, that's no good to you. But yeah, they're from Missouri. Hey, little Dan, how you doing? How's France? How's the weather in France? Is it snowing right now? Raining? Too cold? Yeah. So I can't wait. I can't wait till spring begins. Mainly to get into because on the Kennedy estate they have a creek. There's a creek there. I can't wait to go detect in that creek. I'm gonna get a little handheld diving metal detector just to see how it goes, just to see how it works. If it works, I've always watched them on YouTube, and I've always wanted to get one. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, no, it's that creek though, because there's so many little, or not little, but possible sites for mill sites, because there's a huge, there's a whole bunch of mills on that creek, and I'm excited. I can't wait. And the ground, the ground's just easier to dig when it's not partially frozen or there's permafrost or there's snow on the ground. But yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, so like, has anyone here been to Gettysburg? My wife is texting me. Telling you, it's Gettysburg something else. Do you like paranormal stuff? Yeah, Gettysburg has a lot of paranormal stuff besides what I've showed. So if you come here, there's a place called, or come to Gettysburg, there's a place called the Cove. Um, I was talking about it earlier in my video about Gettysburg, but you can go there once, like it's an elementary school, but it looks like a high school. They call it Warrior Stadium. Like I said, Warrior Stadium when they built it they found a mass grave, a mass Confederate grave. Um, so during, I think it was the second day, first or second day, I'm not sure. Anyway, Louisiana Tigers pushed through that area up to East Cemetery Ridge or Hill, and it really was the bloodiest time, bloodiest battle, bloodiest fight, like hand to hand. They had artillery on. It was bad. It was bad. But that area is called the Cove, and it is haunted. It is creepy, and it's the only spot on the battlefield you can go at nighttime. And there's a lot of paranormal tours, ghost tours that go into that area. But it's like the Cove is probably the creepiest, by far the creepiest spot, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, there's Civil War stuff there, and then there's other stories that go with it. There was a couple of murders in the Cove. Um, it's a creepy spot. It just is. It has a creepy feeling to it. Another place, they call it Suicide Bridge or Eisenhower Bridge. I think I might have mentioned it in one of my earlier videos. It's not Civil War related, but that next to the Cove, it's probably the creepiest place I've ever been. Like, there's a lot of stuff there. It's just creepy. It's just creepy. I'll just leave it at that. Sachs Bridge is a lot of paranormal activity, but it's not creepy. It's a different feel. But yeah, it's the all of Gettysburg. All of Gettysburg has a lot of paranormal activity. But it's a historic place. It really is a beautiful, amazing place. There's so many monuments just everywhere, everywhere. Um, the tour guides, if you do come here, are amazing. They're knowledgeable, they're polite, great customer service, and they actually have to take tests to become a tour guide. Like they have to. It's crazy how they do it, and it works because they know what they're talking about. They are experts at giving tours and talking about the Civil War and Gettysburg. Gettysburg is their baby. Um, Gettysburg's well maintained, well taken care of. It's a great spot to look, view, and see. That's my spiel on Gettysburg. So yeah, next 2 weeks I might, because like I said, I have vacation. I'll do a lot depending on the weather. I'll do a lot at the Kennedy Estates, but I may go to other places just to check it out. Depending on the weather, there's a lot of old bridges, so I'll do some magnet fishing. I definitely want to use my magnet. I can't wait to get my magnet out and like actually be in good weather to use it. I don't know if they'll take the monuments down because that like you don't mess with Gettysburg. Like you just don't. Um, you just don't. That like they back I think in the 90s, before the 90s, they had buildings and stuff, modern day buildings in Gettysburg and around Gettysburg on and they made a town ordinance like to keep all the buildings not modern at all. So like they literally took all those buildings down, like all the corporate buildings down, so the battlefield looks exactly as it was during the Civil War. Like it's Gettysburg is just different because it's not like it's just not one spot that is the battlefield. Like the battlefield was the whole city, like going in into the town. It's just it's a crazy place. Gettysburg is a crazy place for history and Civil War. Um, and the only reason why there was a battle there is because it's where four major roads meet in a junction. It's just like Gettysburg is an amazing place. See, like most of my father's relatives were from like Scotland and immigrated after like in during the like 1920. My mother's relatives were from the South, so I have a couple relatives that were probably in the Civil War. I don't really know, but for me, like it was probably like it wasn't a. I mean, slavery was a big portion of it, a big part of it, and I'm not taking anything away. There was a major part. It played a major part in the Civil War, but it was about states' rights and federal rights, or state laws and federal laws. So it's like, I mean, there's so many contributions to the Civil War, so many so many things that fell into the reasons why we went to war. Slavery was a major part of it, but there's many multiple other reasons. You can't just say one was greater than the other. Because for instance, like Robert E. Lee at the time of the Civil War, he didn't own slaves. He didn't have slaves. He was a military man, so he wasn't in. He was the type of person that had to be in charge or be there. Like he was a micromanager. Um, hey, finders keepers, and but like Grant had slaves. Like he had slaves at the beginning of the Civil War. Um, and look at the Emancipation Proclamation. Like Lincoln freed all the slaves in the South, but he didn't free slaves north of the Mason-Dixon line. And even then, like in Pennsylvania, there was still like people were unsure, and that's just how things were back then. Like you couldn't go full, and but you couldn't go half, so you met in the middle in some way. And that's how Lincoln was. Like Lincoln was a smart man. Lincoln was an extremely smart person on how he did things and how he worded things. Um, he wasn't liked at his time. He wasn't liked during the Civil War. He wasn't like, yes, he was an abolitionist, but at the same time, before he became president, before that, he was not. He was kind of like, all right, okay. But then once he ran for president, he needed something to run on, and that's what he ran on, and it worked for him. But he was not liked at all. What do you mean by banksters, finders keepers? Hey, Papa Spin, I didn't see you there. I'm sorry. I'll have to check. I'll have to check that out. I didn't know. I don't know about that. I have thought about how our world would have changed. I think honestly, there's no way the South could have won. They were winning, but there's no way they could have won. The North had the industries and they had the ships. They had, even though the South had the wool and that was their main source. Well, not their main source, but that's what they had is the wool. Like pretty much what happened at the end of the Civil War is Grant pushed down south and just stayed there, stayed in one spot until he starved. It happened in Charleston, starved Charleston out. Hey, Brett. So like, and so that's what would have happened. So I think if the South would have won, I don't think we would have lasted as a nation because eventually it would have burned itself out. I mean, like there would have been a lot of. I'm guessing. I'm only guessing there would have been a lot of revolts, because people don't like being slaves generally. And this is, or I don't know. I don't know. I could play the guessing game all day long. Yeah, I don't really know about the. I'll have to do more research on all the presidents that went around the banks. I mean, like I see like there it's a that is a lot of presidents who have tried to go around banks. This is the only thing I know about that. Is a lot of presidents that have gone around the bank system or tried to or have tried to affect change in the banks have met with assassination. I will. I'll research that. But yeah, the Civil War, like the whole tearing down statues from of Civil War Confederate or soldiers, that I never understood that. I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but that is your history. Like that is something you should keep. You should remember. You should understand. You're not memorializing them. You're remembering them because they have to be remembered. And General Lee, like that man was probably the most amazing general, military general you could ever meet. He kept, even though his force was inadequate, uh, didn't have the supplies, he still held off a much stronger force for years, for months. Like even though he was running, they were still fighting. His men were starving and like pretty much like had nothing left, and still were following him and still let him lead them wherever he wanted to go. And they still followed. I love the new Garrett. I love it. It's so much fun. I haven't like I want to go out and test it a little bit more. I would not test it. I'm going to use it a little bit more regardless. But like and I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. It's fun. It's new. I'm still learning it. I don't like the shape of the coil, but it's something I'll have to learn. Yeah, when they tore down the Lee statue, that like I didn't really care about the other statues. I mean, it irritated me, but when they tore down Lee's statue, it just proved that they didn't understand the history and the man behind or who Lee was. He was an amazing individual. But yeah, no, that Garrett is something else. I can't wait. I can't wait. That's why I'm kind of like I took 2 weeks off and now it's snowing, so I'm kind of like, or it's about to snow, and we're about to get a foot in Pennsylvania. So like I'm like I cannot. It's Murphy's law, I guess. I get a new machine, get 2 weeks off, and it snows. Frickin' Murphy and his laws. Oh man, I cannot wait. Like normally I'm not about coins or well, I'd love to get a coin or jewelry, but like it's not the first thing on my mind. Like I know relics or I know like iron and uh, nails, square nails, but like I cannot wait. I can just wait. I can like I know there's something there. There has to be something there. There has been someone living in that house, that estate since the 1600s. Someone has to have dropped some type of coin, something. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. Hey, William Baker. So far, we've covered ghosts, paranormal, politics, Civil War politics. We've covered a lot in a short while. Now we're talking about my Garrett, my new Garrett. I'm so excited. I'm like I said, it's just my luck. It snows. Like it's going to snow tomorrow. So the only thing I'm going to be digging is shoveling snow. I know. I know. Got to have patience. And I'm still finding that possible structure, the little structure I found at the last digging video I did, like the property owner doesn't even know what that's from, and they're old square nails, they're old like forged hand forged square nails. So like I don't know if it's a mill or maybe it was an outhouse. I don't think it was an out. Well, maybe because it's close to the creek, but like the property owner knows where the old outhouse was. So I don't know. I don't know what that structure was. But yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait to pull, and I can't wait to go over because there used to be a slave quarters there, um, and it's on the property owner's like the property owner has like a nicely groomed lawn or an okay lawn, and then there's the like the lawn like her lawn like it's groomed, it's property, and that's where the slave quarters was. So if I go digging, I have to be good. Like I have to be like accurate. So I don't want to mess up the lawn. And that'll be when it thaws out, the ground thaws out, and everything's perfect conditions. I cannot wait to go for it to be spring, so I can go in that creek and like take because I want to get a handheld scuba detector and just go up and down that creek and just find whatever I can find. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Spring countdown is on. I never thought about that. I never like thought about the slave tags. What I do want to do, that's what I'm like. If I don't can't get out or the ground's frozen, there's an old slave or freed slave cemetery that's nearby, and I'll go make a video there, or hopefully I'll go make a video there, or hopefully I can find it. I have an idea where it is, but that's another thing. Another interesting topic is slavery and freed slaves in Pennsylvania, because there's a weird law passed during that time about slavery. Because like Chambersburg's right on the Mason-Dixon line, so you find all sorts of stuff about freed slaves, slavery, freed slaves, the Underground Railroad. That stuff's always interested me. So yeah, I might find a slave tag. Never thought about it. But also, I'm going to head back to the. I want to head back to the old firing range, the 1/4 calf firing range, because where the backstop is actually private property I can go on. Not going on the soccer field, learn my lesson. But so like I know exactly where the property line is, and the creek runs up across it. I'm going to cross that creek, and there's a little like hill there, and I'm going to go check the hill for bullets, which will be fun. Or whatever I find, I'll see what I find. But a lot of people go back there. Actually, a lot of homeless people go back there because that area is shut down during after soccer season, so there's no one really there ever. Um, but yeah, we'll see. So yeah, possible new purchases, depending on finances, is a handheld uh, detector, scuba detector, just a little one. Um, a bigger one, bigger than the Garrett carrot that I have, because I love that thing, but it doesn't have the range when you're in the stream or creek. Um, I might go back to one of the state parks, um, especially the one on the AT Trail, Appalachian Trail. Um, I definitely want to go back to the POW camp. I don't know if I'm going to do any metal detecting there, because that place, from what I've heard, is pretty much picked out. But I know nothing's ever picked out. But there's a lot of concrete, and there's metal pipes and stuff like that around there. So I don't know. We'll see. And plus, I'd have to get a permit, which is pretty easy. They're free. You go to where, like, the administration part, you write it out, you get it, and then you go off and do what you need to do. Hey, lost things. But yeah, definitely going back to the POW camp. I've heard it's haunted, but I don't really think that place is haunted. Um, it's fun. It's creepy back there, but like, you walk in, you walk about 10 minutes, and you turn. There's a fork in the road. You turn right, and there's like a water fountain there, just randomly in the woods, just a water fountain. It doesn't work, but it has concrete, and it's kind of cool. But it's an interesting place, really interesting place. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to plan stuff to do videos on, stuff for content, especially if the ground's going to be frozen. I'm going to have to find something to do. Um, but yeah, definitely more main videos. I wish I could go to the beach right now. I so wish. I see the videos on YouTube, and I'm like, man, I want to go to the beach. Especially like Maine, there's always a beach somewhere. Either it's a lake or like a beach, I don't know, lake or a stream, or there's a beach. Like, you can go lay down. Not Pennsylvania. It's a 45-minute drive to go to the beach. For I couldn't, like, even, I don't know. I guess there's a creek I can go into, but that creek's kind of dirty. I mean, I'll swim it to detect, but that's only to find something. But whatever. It's not like going to the beach where you just sit there and just chill or do whatever you want. Hey, Jackpot. Anybody been to Gettysburg? You guys got any future metal detecting plans? Where you guys want to go or where you're going? Yeah, Gettysburg's awesome. It just is. Even though you can't metal detect. Well, see, the thing about Gettysburg itself, not the actual battlefield, you can hunt on private property. So the thing is getting someone's permission to hunt on their property, which it's too far away from me. Like, it's 45 minutes. And man, if I knew somebody around there, I definitely would go there. But I'm not going to go door knocking and drive 45 minutes to go door knocking. I start to stutter if I door knock. Like I stutter really bad, which I'm not like I can talk to anybody, but like it's just door knocking. I hate door knocking. I'd rather like it's either easier for me to call somebody and like get messages than to door knock. Or even like I can go up and talk to them and still like not stutter. But door knocking, for whatever reason, that door, like you never know what's gonna happen once they open that door. A finders beepers. Yeah, the only thing like when I was in Florida, like I was young, I was really, and the only thing I really remember is it being muggy, and I remember the fort at St. Augustine. That's all I remember. Really muggy, going to the beach a lot, and the fort. I think I'd like to do on the Kennedy Estates is a privy dig because I know there's old where there was an outhouse there, but that would take a lot more than just me, maybe two or three people because it's like it's got to be nicely done, excavated. I'm trying to get like the archaeological society in, the historical society in. They don't want anything to do with it for whatever reason. Is there any ghost stories from Fort? If I screw this up, my apologies. Fort de la Ciudad Park. I've been in Maine too long. Or I've been in the Northeast. My Spanish is gone. They should be interested. That like I eat everything I find or everything besides like square nails and stuff. I find like I'll send them emails and I'll send them pictures of what I find, and they're like, oh, okay, all right. So like actually the property owner at the Kennedy States is trying to set up um I don't know, like a cultural center with their history, the Chambersburg history in it. So it's like at least it's going somewhere. Yeah, it's the property owner is very interested in the city of Chambersburg history and especially their property because that property like the property owner could tell me the history by like without even looking at a sheet. Like it's amazing the knowledge that I collected from that property owner, even like the surrounding area. Like I had questions because I'm not a local, so like I don't know people, but like the property owner knows everybody because like they've been here for 40 years. So like every detail like I learned like just from getting a hold of the person on this property and being able to detect on this property. Gettysburg, though, there's no swinging any unless it's private property. You're not getting on the battlefield. It's a national park, so there's no unless it's like you're a part of a historical society or an archaeological society or some study. There's no way you're getting on that battlefield. I want to. I've like contacted multiple people without any response at all. So I'm guessing there's a lot of metal detectorists out there who are like who are on a list somewhere to go detect Gettysburg, which would be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And that's the thing. Like I was thinking about it because on my way back from Gettysburg, I was like, I'll just stop off at some of the spots because I have my magnet with me. This is like before I realized that it was freezing cold. Um, and I started to think about it. I was like, it's probably everything here is probably protected. So like I'm just me. I wouldn't touch anything unless I find somebody or know somebody. Wouldn't go near Gettysburg with a detector or a magnet fit or magnet. Yeah, paranormal wise, like if you're into that stuff, Gettysburg is a place to go. I talked about the Cove, which is near Warrior Stadium, which is actually an elementary school. Like that blew my mind. That place is. It looks like the high school. It's bigger than the high school I went to in Maine. Like it's huge. But it's like it's a part of the battlefield, and if you go there, you can. It's the only spot you can go there at night. And Gettysburg, you can't bring like paranormal hunting equipment on the actual battlefield, but there you can because it's not. It's on the battlefield, but it's not owned by the national park. Probably drain the battery right out of the power right out of the batteries. I'm still like I wasn't really scared. I was frustrated because I wanted to go do more stuff. I wanted to take more videos, but like apparently they wanted me to leave or whatever it was wanted me to go. So, all right, very well. I don't play with that stuff. Chernobyl, I don't know about that stuff. No, not this guy. Not this guy. I'll give it about 50 more years and I'll still wear a suit. I guess like that the animal. I was watching this thing on Facebook or YouTube because everything on the internet is true. That there's animals that are absolutely thriving in Chernobyl. Like I saw this thing about wolves, and I don't know. It's interesting. Anything cool? The square nails and that huge shovel, but all that stuff's in my garage. That or spade. It's a huge, huge spade. It's like this big. It is a sturdy. It is sturdy. I found like I was researching and I found like on Pinterest because I find everything on Pinterest that it probably about 1860s. Um, and someone commented. I put it on Facebook and 1860s or yeah 1860s. So who knows? I mean, that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. Um, haven't found any coins yet. Haven't found any rings at the estate. Still working it though. Oh man, that shovel though, that spade was deep. Like it was deep, and like there was roots like growing over top of it. I thought it was like a. I thought it was going to be like a kind of looked like a license plate. I was like, oh, I got an old license plate. This would be cool. I wonder how much I could sell this for. And it wasn't. It was a shovel. Yeah, nature takes everything. Nature grows back everything. See if I can add you. Yeah, I'll add you later to my Facebook. Or you can look at Brian Clooney. Just type in Brian Clooney, and you'll see like like I don't put my YouTube stuff on Facebook because it's like that's where I don't know. I try to keep them separate because that's where like my family pictures are and stuff like that. I guess same thing with Instagram. I don't like all my pictures, family of my kids and stuff are Instagram. But yep, good times. All right, I'm done. I gotta go. See y'all later. Hopefully I'll be on tomorrow. Um, thanks for watching. Uh, I'll try to get out detecting tomorrow, but there's that big storm. Um, see y'all later. Mainly dig out.